Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are our stories and adventures. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and on with today's adventure. Well, as you see behind me, the big mammoth foxglove, whatever it was, I did cut out this morning because every time I'd walk through here it would just grab my hair. Wasn't doing anything productive for the garden, so it got removed. But then I noticed that where my elephant garlic was planted, that the green stalks have died back, so thought we'd go in, dig up, see if I've got anything worthwhile, and see if we can get that one wall of tomatoes cleaned up. So let's check out my elephant garlic. And I have gone through and got rid of a bunch of the bindweed and have dehydrated a bunch of this, or not dehydrated, it's in the seed shed drying, this oregano. But let's see if I've got any garlic in here worth its weight. Well, I got one little one and a seed. I wonder if there's more seeds in there. And it was one of those, I planted this elephant garlic late last fall. So really several little seed bulbs that I can replant. Ha! That one tomato that was way down in the ground got a potato on it. And another one. Another garlic with a couple little babies. So, wound up with six little garlic clumps. Was it really worth it? Probably not, but I did plant it late and it's more garlic than I had yesterday. Plus, make that 7 garlic clumps. But I wound up with, what I count? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 17 little baby garlics that I can just replant in here, and they'll have a chance to grow this spring or this fall, and maybe next year I'll have a better harvest of garlic. Oh well, I guess he's lost. So I'm going to go grab some compost to put on here and some shavings for over it after we've planted. Get the rest of this oregano picked, and then we'll go work on tomatoes. Okay, so I got a layer of compost added to that from my compost tumbler. So let's get these guys planted and some shavings over the top of them. And when you plant them, if you're looking at it, it's got the pointy side and then the round bottom. You want to plant it pointy side up. Okay, let's go grab some shavings and get these guys covered. So now that I got the shavings put down on it, gotta remember to come out and water it in, but let's go prune some zucchini so we can get to the tomato plants. So I'm just gonna prune some of the leaves off the zucchinis. I don't need all of them. I'm just gonna make it so I can get to the tomatoes. We'll see how the GoPro turns out. But what I'm doing is trying to find a spot to start. I'm just going to prune off some of the lower limbs and sucker growth. The main problem I have is deciding what plant belongs where. Okay, so that's that guy. Whoa. And this really isn't ideal because there's just so much overgrowth, but normally I'd be doing a lot more pruning off, but like I said, because we've been uber hot and the plants have a tendency to struggle in the heat, especially with blossom end rot, or not end rot, blossom drop. So just trying to keep as much as I can. Come on. There we go. Gonna take a quick break and then come back and get the other half of this done. Okay, so back from a quick break. Had to grab a paper towel because it is muggy out. The stampede of the goslings. Yeah. And I have to be careful because this one I'm holding right here, it's got fruit on it, and I don't want it to fall over before I can get it tied up. But I got to prune this other one so I can get it tied up. Okay, that one looks pretty good. No, this isn't good for you to eat, Hal. No, it's not. Well, now that I got this side done, I'm going to go through and do the other side. I did throw the first batch of zucchini leaves out to the birds. Don't think it will hurt him, because for the most part, if it's bad for them, like the tomato leaves, I could throw it out there. They won't even eat it because it's poisonous, and they know that. So I just leave it a pile in the walkway, and once it's all dried down, which takes in this heat a day and a half, I then collect it and throw it on the burn pile, because if it's not green, they don't want to mess with it. So on the off chance someone does decide to get into it. So I'm gonna go through on the other side and be back with you guys in a minute and show you what it looks like when it's all done. Well, there I've gone through and gotten all the tomatoes on both sides cleaned out. As you see, got tomatoes there and there that we could not see earlier. Got a clump right there by that T-post. And all through in there. I know I probably look really wild at the moment. It's called humidity and being outside. But went through, got these all staked up, went through the other ones and got any that needed a little more help. So the tomatoes look good. So let's get this one old pea tore down, look for any shells that I missed, and tomorrow we can replant the yellow snap peas. And try not to break off green beans. So, got that cleaned up. Pardon my tomato fingers, but a handful of pea seeds that I just need to shell, and no, I'm not going to plant all of these. Probably those 3 pots will have more than enough seeds for that area, but soak them overnight, and then tomorrow you can get that part of the trellis replanted. And I've got to show you something. Don't think I planted carrots in this bed last year, but I have a carrot that is going to flower. So somewhere along the line, I got a 2-year-old carrot in there that's going to give me carrot seeds this year. Not sure what type of carrot, but any carrot's better than no carrot. So let me put these down and I'll show you that carrot that's getting ready to bloom. So over here in the sweet pepper bed, I've got this carrot, and it's actually going to bloom. And I'll have to go back and check, but I don't think I had carrots planted here last year. But, oh well. But went through and got the greenhouse all cleaned out. Let's go take a look at that and see what I have to finish cleaning up in there. So, went through and got this all organized. Have all their dirty trays over here. I did bring the wood stove back in, just have to get it installed in that corner. But on the far wall are all the pots that I need to get washed and sanitized. So I have a little station set up. So I'll have 1 bucket for knocking the loose dirt out, and then 2 or 3 soaking rinsing buckets. This will get washed out to have bleach water in for the sanitation, and then this one will get rinsed out for rinsing off the bleach, and then they'll get stacked on that shelf pretty much in the same order that they're over there. The black trays will just get scrubbed out and put back on the back wall. But it took me a couple hours. It's kind of an embarrassing mess in here. Hence the reason we haven't been in here for a while. Plus the fact it's been getting really warm in here. So that will be a project to tackle on a rainy fall day. But I did get the bed over here by the greenhouse all cleaned up. Let's take a look at that. got this area all cleaned up, weeded. Took down the table that the evergreen trees were on and just put them behind the fence. So now the rhubarb has a chance to come back. And I would say that summer squash leaves are not their favorite. Probably because they're kind of pokey, but it was worth a shot. But out here underneath the orchard, I took some of the bird netting and ran it between the orchard and the corn, and I moved the 3 turkeys, the 2 chickens, and the 3 little ducklings over here, just to give them more of a real out in the world as opposed to the tarp covered area. And they're seeming to like it out here. And I know the 2 chickens are under the rhubarb. Oh, there's the 3rd turkey. Right there. One thing I forgot to mention on the last one is, and she's gonna hide, or he's gonna hide, but that little turkin there is probably a month and a half old. It's about the same age as Robin and Batman. That's what I'm calling those 2 little boys that are always in the garden. And it's just not growing. It's almost completely feathered in, and it is tiny. So I may permanently have a little turkin running around. But little tiny. I think the baby ducks are already grown just as big. So I know the father was Frank, whose now name is Hank, because him and 4 of my laying hens went to a friend of ours and they changed the name from Frank to Hank because their dog Hannah, her soccer ball's name is Frank. Don't want to get them confused. But I know he was the father to that little turkin baby, and he has no turkin in his background, so I know it had to have been either the black and red or the red turkin hen that laid that egg. And they're not small, and Frank wasn't small, so don't know why that one is so tiny, but got a tiny turkin if anybody wants one. So it is the next day as I dump them all, and I did go through and, without dumping it, soaked my pea seeds overnight, and I did add a couple of the green snap pea seeds, which are the big green ones, because when I was going through and shelling them yesterday, these guys were not dried out, so no sense in putting them in with the rest of them and then mold. And the reason you want to soak the pea seeds overnight just speeds up germination. Not super necessary being it summer, but the one less step for them to try to rehydrate. So gonna get these guys planted and hopefully we'll have fall peas. So this is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you have a good day and a good week, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.